So BCMA stands for B cell maturation antigen. This is a cell surface protein that's quite specific to plasma cells. So it makes it an excellent target for immunotherapy in multiple myeloma. We have bispecific antibodies, antibody drug conjugates, and CAR T cells that are all in development. And in fact, the first antibody drug conjugate, belantamab mafodotin, is now FDA approved for the treatment of relapsed refractory multiple myeloma. So BCMA targeted immunotherapy is clearly here, and I think quite exciting. With regards to the antibody drug conjugate belantamab mafodotin in relapsed refractory multiple myeloma patients, the vast majority of whom had what we call triple class refractory disease. These are patients that have disease that's become refractory to at least one immunomodulatory agent, at least one proteasome inhibitor, and one CD38 monoclonal antibody. We saw a respectable overall response rate of 31% at the FDA approved dose. And I think importantly for those patients that responded, those responses were durable. Median duration of response was 9 months in the pivotal phase 2 trial that led to its approval. I think in the CAR T cell space, the BCMA targeted CAR T cell product, BB2121, also called ide-cel, is furthest along in development. I think that the response rates that we're seeing with ide-cel, and again, a very heavily pretreated triple class refractory patient population, are unprecedented. I also would argue that the median progression-free survival that we're seeing with these patients is unprecedented. I think it is important to note that these patients, do appear to be eventually relapsing. So, at least in this patient population, this is certainly not felt to be curative therapy. Also, there are the practical implications of CAR T cell therapy. It does require a manufacturing period, and some of these patients with relapsed refractory disease really have no good effective bridging therapies that they can utilize while they're waiting for their CAR T cells to be manufactured. So that's one potential logistical limitation of the CAR T cells in that particular space. I think that the bispecific antibodies, again, are a very attractive group of therapeutics in this space. And the majority of bispecific antibodies right now that are furthest in development are targeting BCMA. Teclistamab, the product that's made by Janssen, is a good example of this, and the results from that particular first-in-human study will be updated at this year's ASH. And what they're showing there is, unprecedented response rates, and again, a very heavily pretreated triple-class refractory patient population. And although relatively short follow-up, durable responses to date. And importantly, the bispecifics are off the shelf. There's no manufacturing required. You can get drug to patient quickly.